This is Block 8, Pax Americana, Section 4, we like Ike, with the section, the Landrum Griffin Act. As we have said before, the 1950s were the peak of American unionism, but that growth in unionism came with significant cost and significant side effects. Congressional investigations began to find, in the mid-1950s, just how far organized crime had infiltrated American unions, especially the Teamsters. That the mob and mob bosses were heavily involved in unions. They were extorting union members from their dues. They were putting undue pressure on politicians, that if you somehow crossed what the union wanted, you might find a bunch of mafia thugs, you know, breaking your kneecaps or worse. Those investigations led President Eisenhower to push for and for Congress to pass the Landrum Griffin Act, which countered this sort of corruption. It made the government oversee union finances a lot more closely, and it gave the government more investigative power over what unions were doing with their membership and in the political and economic arena in general. This is Jimmy Hoffa. Jimmy Hoffa was the type of union leader that the Landrum Griffin Act is designed to counteract. Hoffa was the head of the Teamsters Union and was convicted in court of jury tampering and served part of his sentence before going free. And then, very famously, Jimmy Hoffa, this union leader who had been heavily involved with the mafia, disappeared without a trace, and his body has never been found. It's rumored, of course, as anyone knows anything about New Jersey, it's rumored that Jimmy Hoffa is buried somewhere in the swamps of the Meadowlands. But New Jersey kind of folklore aside, Jimmy Hoffa is indicative of problems that unions were having in the 1950s, being infiltrated by members of organized crime, who used the unions to their own ends, who enriched the union leadership for agreements by working with them, and took advantage of the workers that the unions were supposed to be protecting.